So without further ado, let's dive right in. I encourage everyone to please take notes, ask questions, and let's make this an engaging and valuable conversation. Um, so, like I said earlier, our topic today is the Nigerian economy, the challenges, the trends, and the opportunities that are available for business owners and people that also want to start their businesses. But before we start, I would like to ask the audience a question. And again, thank you all for joining us. And just to start, we would like to, get some kind of insight from you. So, in one word, right, you can please write in in the chat box section. Describe, excuse me, describe how you feel about a word that describes the Nigerian economy to you, right? So just write one word that describes the current Nigerian economy to you. So I'll say that again. Please, in the chat box, uh, type a word that describes the Nigerian economy to you right now, the current economy that we're facing. Okay. Okay, we have bad governance. Okay, interesting. We have thriving, and this is very interesting. People actually even believe that this economy is thriving. That's good. Thank you, Tosin. Okay, we have terrible. Okay, please let's be honest as possible. Um, Orutu says it's terrible. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Um, all right, so that's interesting. I don't know if our panelists have any word for us as well about the Nigerian economy. Your thoughts about the Nigerian economy. Well, yeah, I think these are good responses. This can set the Miss Movie says sigh. I know, right? All right. Thank you for the feedback, everyone. If you still feel like sharing, you can also drop your feedback in the chat box. Whilst we get to it, much later. Okay, so so without further ado, we'll just be asking, our panelists some questions that sort of sets the pace for this conversation. And Mr. Gbenro, I'm going to start with you. All right. So, given that you're the founder and CEO of Optima, right? My first question would be, so given the current economic downturn and the rising inflation in Nigeria, how do you see the demand for insurance evolving in Nigeria, particularly among small businesses and individuals who may see it as a non-essential expense? So people right now think, okay, please continue.
I just wanted to jump in right away. Very interesting thoughts, comments. But I think the diverse comments from people about how the economy feels also give some context to what are my feelings and my thoughts about the current economy. Some people feel like it's in a decline. Some people feel like it's almost like we're going into a recession, nothing is happening. But it's always important to take a bird's eye view, and data helps us a lot to put things into context. We over the last couple of years we've been in an increasing trend of inflation, which means that costs to do business is constantly rising month on month. This doesn't mean that there hasn't been growth in the Nigerian economy or that businesses haven't been growing. The challenge is that it feels like a lot of businesses are on a treadmill. You're trying to grow, the little growth that you find, costs come, bites it, diesel jumps, bites it, band A bites it. So, there are diverse challenges that I'm not even mention if you are an import dependent business, you will be dependent on the foreign exchange changes and fluctuations as well. So that has been the challenge, the key challenge, that costs has been rising. But the good news I see also in the data is that inflation rate has eased to about 20.18% in February, which means that we're getting there, and this is like a second decline month on month, means that there's progress, and it's also showing that the policies, the reformation that the current government is already sort of embarking on to smoothen the economy and restore investors' confidence is actually paying off. So I'd see it as a positive shift. So despite the sort of gloomy feeling that a lot of businesses, a lot of entrepreneurs have felt in the last couple of months, years, I would say that in the middle of that, there's a silver lining of opportunity. There's a very familiar saying in finance that says the higher the risk, the higher the return. So we're in a higher return environment where entrepreneurs, businesses must sort of look for those opportunities and find those higher returns that exist in the market.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I think that's a fantastic answer. The higher the risk, the higher the return. Thank you. So Wumi, so the logistics sector has been heavily impacted by the exchange rate fluctuations and the rising fuel costs. How has Fast Riders navigated these challenges, and what strategies have you adopted in maintaining affordability to your customers?
Okay. Good morning, everyone, once again, and thank you for the opportunity to speak and to share my opinion. So we know that the logistics space is actually very, very chaotic. Is it from the people's problem, or is it from the external factors that affect us, which is, like you said, the exchange rate? Because obviously the exchange rate actually affects the price of the assets that is being used to, move these goods from one point to the other. That's the what's it called, the dispatch bike that we currently use in our business. Like, there are times that maybe today you see that, okay, this is the cost of this asset, then you come back tomorrow and the cost is, it's fluctuating and all of that. Then the same goes for fuel. So what we've been able to do as a business, because that SMEs are like the lifeline of the economy, and most of our customers actually play in this ecosystem. So what we did as a business to ensure that this doesn't really impact or affect us is to also like educate our customers, right? Because so imagine now, for instance, the exchange rate doesn't only affect us, it also affects the business that we also service. So let me give you an instance. A customer whose product is heavily dependent on forex, right? Let's say a fashion business, they bring in their products from maybe China and India, Vietnam, and the likes, right? And maybe they were selling prior to now for 30,000 naira, and all of a sudden the exchange rate changes it to like 40,000 and all of that, and they still have to make their customers pay for delivery. So what we've been able to do is, as a business, we try as much as possible to understand what our clients' challenges are. Okay, what are the current challenges you face around delivering your product to your customers, and where is like the what's it called, the most locations that you have to deliver to. So based on this, we educate them and help them aggregate, teach them how to aggregate their orders, and so that this also enables us to do route optimization and proper planning, right? So with these, they're also able to reduce the cost of what their customers are paying, to deliver products. Then on the other hand, for our asset financing program, whereby we provide assets to the financially deficient individuals, right, who are unable to start up their own logistic business due to the same inflation and that we're talking about, right? So we provide asset financing to them, and they're able to pay for it over a period of time. And when all of these things happen, we've already been able to like factor inflation into our costs prior to now, even though the current one that we have met us by surprise, but we've been able to actually cushion it so that it doesn't affect our our stakeholders in the space. So yeah, that's how we've been able to combat and manage the current situation.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So what I hear you say is educating your customers on the current realities, and so that they can also know how to strategize in their businesses. Also, asset financing, and this is one. I think this is actually one of the opportunities that is available for businesses right now. Asset financing. Mr. Gbenro also spoke about still pursuing your business goals. The higher the risks, the higher the rewards. So thank you so much for that contribution. I do have a question for the audience, our audience. So what do you think is the biggest threat to businesses in Nigeria today? What do you think is the biggest threat to businesses in Nigeria today? So you can just drop your question, your answers in the chat box. What do you think is the biggest threat to businesses in Nigeria today? Okay, guys. Any question, any thoughts? What do you think is the biggest threat to businesses in Nigeria today?
Hi, Abraham. So I think that there are a number of biggest threats. There are a few things. I'm sorry, apologies for my yeah. So the number of biggest threats. One, regulation is one of them, because you can have your processes in place, you can have people, you can have everything, and then one regulation comes and scatters everything. Right. Of course, I'm sure Wumi will know this. There were instances that I think Benro also had some experience with I don't know if it was OPay or All Right or whatever at that time, when they just came, Lagos State just came and scattered or came up with a regulation that destroyed the bike hailing industry. Right, they said, oh, maybe there were certain permits that needed to come up and all of that stuff, and then that was the end. So there were people like Gokada. There was one other one, the one that had the yellow brand. I can't remember them. Anyways, so they just came. Regulation is all I'm saying. Regulation can come and ruin everything. You have to deal with power supply as well. So people who are, imagine somebody who owns a cold room, and for days there's no lights. It means they either shut down the business for some time if they can't afford to power their generator all the time, or they have to find another means of providing power, which is expensive. So there's so many. I don't think there's just one thing that is a big risk or issue. I think it's like multiple issues in different things. But as business owners, we just have to keep thriving. Even with staff as well. There's so many things. But I'm sure, like, Bera and Wumi will give you instances of like different issues that they've had relating to risks, as of doing business in Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Toyosi. Thank you for that. I agree. There are multiple issues, multiple threats. But thank you for your contribution. Yes, government regulations really can be a major factor to the success or the success of any business. All right. So, Benro, my next question. So digital transformation has played a key role in reshaping industries. How is Optimal leveraging technology to simplify access to insurance and help businesses mitigate financial risk in these times?
Great. So, like I said, that in a world where risk is certain, right? One has to plan for it and see it as an opportunity. So I think the smartest businesses see insurance as an investment and not an expense. Insurance can be strategic when you are able to understand your risks and find ways to, first of all, minimize those risks and identify the ones that, if they do occur, especially from financial shocks, like a fashion designer who is shipping his package to a customer in another country. It's a strategic investment to make sure that that package is insured, as opposed to risking your hard-earned income. You're right, where you're struggling with rising costs as well. So it becomes a strategic investment to make sure that you're not further increasing your risks, or those risks are sort of like transferred if they do occur. So I think for us, that's at the heart of what we're doing at Octabio, trying to ensure and educate businesses that insurance is an investment that can really, really help your business to thrive and be resilient in times like this. Technology is also at the heart of everything that we do. It's the heart of our business model. And I think that the future of insurance is, almost invisible, seamless, smart, and always on, right? So what that does is, and what I just described is the concept of embedded insurance. What that does is just make sure that even first of all, the cost of distribution is very, very low. So that means that businesses can have more affordable insurance products, where also ensuring the leveraging on automation, technology, artificial intelligence to make sure that claims are paid out pretty fast. We have, for the first time in Nigeria, a claim solution that can identify damages and assess the risks and pay out claims in a matter of minutes. So we believe that just being able to make insurance seamless, smart, and always on, always accessible is the way to go, and make sure that businesses have insurance coverage at multiple times. So, and a great example is our partnership with Kredi Bank, where insurance is embedded into the Kredi Bank app, where Kredi Bank customers can instantly, right out of their app, get an insurance product, or Kredi Bank customers who are taking a loan, by default are also have some credit life insurance back in those loans. So I think that's the future of insurance, and that's how our own approach to it.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much for the response. Um, okay. So, Wumi, so speaking of, digital economy, with Nigeria's digital economy expanding, how is Fast Riders also leveraging technology to optimize delivery operations and support SMEs in ensuring seamless logistics, despite our current economic reality?
I think this question that you've asked me is more or less like for me to describe what my business actually does. So, how do we leverage technology to help businesses? Yeah, so we have a web portal or a web-based platform where businesses can, imagine yourself as a business owner and you have like bulk orders that you want to actually deliver to your customers, and you need somebody to help you do that. You don't have the time to start going into your phone and start booking the order one by one. So our system allows you to actually load in all of your bulk orders. Like there's a format that will give you that allows you to load it into the system, and in no time you're already connected to the nearest and available dispatch rider to come and pick up and deliver to you. And also we enable real life tracking, whereby you are able to track to know where your package is per time, because as a business you don't want to take on the you don't want to take on the responsibilities of having to be an operations logistics person in your business. When you have to start doing that, where is the time to actually focus on what is the core of your business? Do you understand? So yes, we leverage technology to ensure that businesses are able to optimize their logistics operations. They're able to track. They're able to even know how much they spend per time on logistics operations. So it allows them to plan further and also improve strategies that their customers can leverage on when it comes to logistics. Then I think I want to piggyback off what Beru said about insurance. See, as a business, no matter how small your business is, do not underestimate the relevance of insurance in your business. Like, it is very important, because that little money that you're paying now would save you future headaches or future dip into your pockets. For businesses like ours, we have goods in transit insurance, and it is something that we make sure that we allow our customers know about, that okay, yes, I'm moving packages for you, but you need to be rest assured that your package is very safe with me. Do you understand? Then also, on our asset financing aspects, we know that it's a very risky business. Imagine having to give your asset to somebody that you don't know, even though you verify them. How do you keep track? How do you know where they are per time? So there was even a time that, based on the use of technology, somebody actually took an asset from us one time, how would I put it, a while back, right? And despite the fact that we've already conducted everything that we need to conduct, like we know what we're doing, like like the guy was a solid guy. However, his friend came around, picked up the key to his bike, and drove the bike away. If I didn't, we don't have the necessary strategies in place to be able to combat this issue, that's how we would have lost the assets. So with our insurance, we're able to, alert them that, okay, there's been a case of theft, and with embedded technology to, track and monitor our assets, we're able to track the assets we buy, and we're able to retrieve it back. So I think businesses should not underestimate the power of leveraging little technology into their business, no matter how small it is. I can't do that research for you as a business. You need to sit down, think about your business, know what your business needs, and leverage on low-hanging fruits like apps that are free, or technologies that are almost free, that your business can actually, take on to help you manage and mitigate various risks. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the fantastic answer. Yeah, I would also agree that insurance is necessary, even for as a person, not even just for businesses, also as a person, for your gadgets, for your assets. It's important that you have insurance, or especially for times that unforeseen issues can occur. All right, great. I hope we are enjoying the session and getting valuable insights. A lot has been said about insurance. A lot has been said about mitigating risks. A lot has also been said about asset financing and leveraging some kind of technology in your business, so that you don't have to do everything at once. Like Omi said, you don't have to literally be the content person. You don't have to do everything at once. It's important that you have technology support you, especially with our age of digital transformation. All right. So my next question, Benro, Toyosi earlier spoke about regulatory government regulations. So my question is, with the policy changes on regulatory framework, do you think what policy change or regulatory framework do you think could encourage a wider adoption of insurance among businesses, especially in an economy where our financial priorities are constantly shifting?
Yeah. So thanks a lot for that question. So regulation, and I think that should be a fuel to innovation, right? So a lot of businesses run from regulation, but it's very important that we see it as that it could be a catalyst to the work that we're doing in various industries. Other than even in the insurance industry, if you're in any industry that has regulators or impact of regulation, you have to be very proactive and very closely engaging, but also have a very resilient strategy. Trying to get into the mind and plan of the regulator. So in the community insurance industry today, we're super excited about the posture of the regulator in the insurance market. First of all, you probably have seen, maybe some people have seen in the news recently that there is a new insurance act that has just passed through the House of Assembly, and hopefully will be signed maybe before the end of the year. These regulations are supposed to sort of improve the capacity of the industry, and put in new rules that sort of encourages people to adopt insurance. Also, you probably have seen in the news where there's now been a new emphasis on compulsory third-party insurance, third-party motor insurance, which is like super basic. So it also, leads to education. What they're trying to really do is remind people and re-educate the market around the fact that, there's this compulsory insurance. It's actually a crime to put the cars on the road without having insurance. So, we see the regulator taking a stronger stance to sort of, making the public more aware about the compulsory insurances, the need for insurance, which is super great. But in addition, I think there are some other things that they can do for us businesses, really small businesses, to sort of make it a seem as an incentive for us to get insurance. So, for example, there could be tax incentives that businesses have if they have insurance. In reality, there are some tax incentives that exist today in the market, but is there a way to target it more specifically for insurances that are relevant for businesses like us, businesses like the logistics sector, and saying that in the logistics space, for example, if you have an insurance policy within the year, you get a discount on your tax liability, which sort of now emphasizes the fact that insurance is an investment for people. And also, I think that the concept of open insurance, just similar to the concept of open finance in fintech, open finance has helped to drive a lot of adoption, new types of technology, new types of solution in the fintech industry. Well, a lot of us in the insurance space are also pushing for open insurance rules and regulations, which sort of opens up the framework of insurance, especially for tech businesses, to be able to build more innovative solutions around insurance. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Thank you for that insight. All right. So, Wumi, what are the biggest opportunities you see for growth in the logistics sector amidst our current economic challenges, and how can businesses adapt to remain competitive in the Nigerian market?
This is a very, very deep question. So what are the opportunities that I see for growth, right, in the logistics space? So there's something that I would always say, which is, in as much as we have a lot of players in the space, I feel like we still do not have enough players in the space to actually, to actually meet the current demands, right? So some of the opportunities I see in the space is there's a need for more collaboration between the big brands and the small brands, so that we can all cover the lapses that currently exists in the space, right? Also, I feel like another thing is that, sorry, I'm losing my chain of thought.
That's fine.
Yeah, so when we talk about collaboration, so we, for instance, we know that we also have compliance policy in the or regulatory policy in the logistics space, which is NIPOS. Like, you need to have a NIPOS license that would enable you to operate seamlessly without having to what's it called, without having to drag with law enforcement agencies and the likes. So for us as a business, we've been able to collaborate with other small logistics business, right, to leverage on our existing license, and that we've been able to like do more on our own part to service SMEs and other social commerce businesses, right? Then also, why am I losing my chain of thought? I'm really, really sorry.
No, it's fine. You can take a moment. So I think we're talking about opportunities for growth. You said
Yeah.
collaboration with big brands can be one of the ways, and they explain collaboration.
Then another thing that I like what the local logistics businesses are doing, right? Which is, logistics, it's very, very chaotic. Like I said initially, like you have to deal with the aspect of the people. We also have to deal with the aspect of, you know, external factor, which is government policies and all of that, right? So there's a coalition group that actually comes together to help logistic businesses to become more resilient to law enforcement agencies who ask for irrelevant documents that will now make a rider to get delayed on the road and end up not delivering packages at the right time. So collaboration through this coalition, we've been able to speak to the government, and the government has also been able to help us to mitigate some of these issues. Like they collaborate with us to ensure that miscreants who just indiscriminately stop dispatch riders on the road are being apprehended and also charged charged to court as well. So yeah, and also on the part of okay, I think that's much about it for now. That's
Thank you
much
so
about.
much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the feedback. That is very insightful. I think just aside just in being in the logistics space, I think a lot of big brands in different industries actually need to collaborate with smaller brands to drive more impact in the Nigerian market, especially these SMEs, because we know that SMEs are one of the major source of our GDP right now. All right. Thank you so much. This has been a very insightful session. Um, I would like to ask the panelists one question. Just this is the last question, really. Um, you know, do you think, and anyone can answer, first, do you think there would be an improvement in the Nigerian economy in the next 12 months? And also, I think our audience can also, indicate that they want to answer, and you cannot just answer. It's more of a, just an interactive question. Do you think that there would be an improvement in the Nigerian economy from the trend that we've had since 2024 so far? We know that subsequently there seems to be like a kind of drop in the price of fuel, thanks to what Dangote is doing. But do we see an improvement in the Nigerian economy in the next 12 months?
Yeah, maybe I can let the audience answer first before I share my thoughts.
Okay, that's fine. All right. Does anyone in the audience would you like to, share your thoughts on this?
Yeah, or I can maybe go ahead first while they get their thoughts together. Definitely, we're going to see some growth in the next 12 months. I think that we're in a growth trajectory. A lot of people, don't mind me, as a businessman, you have to always be very, very positive, right? Stay positive, but rationally positive, right? So looking at the data, I think it's very, very rational. It's looking positive. It's looking up. The economy is projected to grow about 4%, 4.1% in 2025, which is stronger growth than previous year. So showing a positive momentum. Plus, we already see foreign investors showing renewed interest in the market, being attracted to higher bond yields. Bond yields there about 25%. I talked about the higher the risk, the higher the return. So we're seeing this also attract, savvy investors who are looking for higher returns. So putting this together, I see this as, a positive outlook, positive trend for the economy. Businesses just need to be smarter. Think about your most important costs, reduce costs where you can. Think about adding more value to your customers so that you can charge more if possible. But find every means to stay alive, reduce your risk, transfer some of the risk to insurance, invest in insurance, and we will all thrive.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that feedback. I would also like to add that, I mean, from the National Bureau of Statistics, there was this, report that dropped last year, that dropped in February this year, that said our inflation rates, reduced to 23.18%, and marking sort of like a decline since 2020 to 2024. So yeah, I do agree with you, and I think positive mindset is really the way to go for anything really. So yeah, that's a good one. Does our other panelists have any thoughts?
Like we also said, positive mindset, and yes, the economy is going to actually improve. We just have to keep a positive mindset and also ensure that we also keep improving our businesses to meet the needs of our customers so that we can charge more, right? And yes, we need to keep giving them value. It's very important to keep giving them value, to keep engaging them, to keep trying to know what they want and how we can improve on the service that we currently give. And even with this Dangote, issue that is currently going on, and we still don't know where we are going with the fuel and all of that. But I can say confidently that for my own business, we would still always find a way to ensure that we stay afloat, which includes we keep educating our customers, letting them know what they can also do to improve their services so that it doesn't impact on the cost of their logistics, and we'll keep giving value to our customers so that we can stay afloat in business and also have a positive mindset, like Meru said. We will not have that negative mindset that Nigeria is going to happen to us. Instead, it will happen to Nigeria and ensure that we keep thriving.
Absolutely, absolutely. That is fantastic. That is fantastic. Thank you so much, guys. Yes, I agree, and this has been a valuable, conversation with you both. So thank you so much for joining us. We've learned a lot from you guys, from assets financing to having some kind of technology in your business for growth, and to also ensure there's no insurance that's really too small. You need to insure your business, stay ahead of the trend, and also mitigate your risks. Go for higher value, higher risk, higher reward strategies. So thank you so much for being here today. We're coming to the end of our webinar today. So I don't know if the audience, anyone in the audience would like to ask any question before we round up. Does anyone have any question as regards business, as regards Nigerian challenges, or anything really as regards our topic today? You can just maybe identify or unmute to speak if you have any questions for us. All right. If there are no questions, or you're still sort of putting your thoughts together, I would just like to talk about one platform that can also help you grow your business, which is one of the Kredi Bank's products. It's called the BizPay. It's called the business payment platform. It's on Google. It's on Apple Store. It's on all the Apple application platforms. Basically, this is a payment platform that helps you manage your business. It's the Kredi Pay app. So you can send, you can pay your suppliers, pay your what's it called, your staff members. You can also even request for our new product, which is the SME loan, where you can get up to 5 million naira for your business. So you can reach out to me, you can reach out to Credit Bank, reach out customer service, or you can just download the app, free on the Google Play Store or on the Apple store as well. And you can get a POS. We also offer one-on-one business consultation service for the people in the front line of managing the platform. So you can engage us. We will be excited to have you and to also teach you on how to grow your businesses. All right, thank you so much. You can also follow us on Kredi Bank on Instagram, Kredi Bank on Twitter, Kredi Bank at thecredibank.com on our website for more information on our products or what our next webinar will be about, because this year we're offering valuable insights to how you can stay afloat in your business, in your personal life, and also talking about a lot of financial inclusion and financial knowledge, because people really want to make money, but they really don't know how to manage their money, which is what we focused on this year. So once again, thank you so much. I don't know if our panelists have like a one-liner final comments before we close off the program. So do you have any word for our audience? Wumi, do you have any word for our audience before we close?
Okay, I would just say that irrespective of what the economic situation is, just try as much as possible to stay resilient, right? Even during even during a bad weather, there's umbrella, meaning that there's always opportunity regardless of the situation. So just keep your eyes open and try as much as possible to identify these opportunities and leverage on them to grow your business.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Yes, thank you so much. So stay positive, stay afloat, and definitely you would triumph. All right, Binro, any last words for us?
Yes, I think businesses just need to be proactive, just like we had said, understand the environment that you are, plan for it, understand the risks that you're exposed to. Insurance is not just an expense, it's an investment that if you understand and work with the right kind of partners, brokers, you can find ways to integrate it into your business operations, and you're able to thrive despite these risks that show up in the market.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. Thank you. There's been a lot of valuable insights that has been dropped today, and we do appreciate having you both on our panelists today, on our panel session today. All right, thank you all for joining. Come to the end of our session. We hope that you took, the valuable insights that were shared, and you can also rewatch this on YouTube. We would be, putting the session on our YouTube page, and then you can rewatch and share with your friends and new business owners, new people that want to go into business. You can share this with them so they can have some kind of insight to how to strategize and do market research, which is very important, or jumping into any business. All right, thank you all so much for joining us. See you again another time. Thank you all.